Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
Guys like Gretzky and Crosby are like these weird, like autistic sort of hockey autism things.
Let's talk Devils and Islanders, let's talk Penguins and Rangers, but let's not talk about Flyers, cause they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny, which no one can deny.
All right, don't try it till you've had it. This is episode 73 of the Friends and Rivals podcast. I am one of your hosts, Tom Harkness. With me each week are
Steven Wojtowicz.
Whoa.
Hey, Jackie, this is Bill Fougere.
Oh, no.
Hey, it's Nick back from COVID.
Back from a near-death experience.
Nick, it's great. Good to have you back, pal.
Thanks, guys. Hope you missed me much.
Much. I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's a relative term.
yeah.
I'll take it.
Much
I'll take it.
We did. Shit, I wanted to bring something up immediately when we started, but now I can't for the life of me think of what the hell it was.
Jacob Trouba's a dirty player.
No,
Oh.
that's not it.
Make some notes or something, buddy.
That's it. I want to say hello to everybody listening in the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah,
To
man.
the Friends and Rivals podcast,
Ooh.
we say, what's up? Did we say what's up?
Bienvenue and welcome.
I mean, they're not German.
Is that no?
Oh,
Oh no.
We
Give
are
me
red
German.
hot in the UAE.
how are those islands coming out there? Are they doing
If
good?
anybody wants to sponsor us and bring us over to do a live episode from over there, I think we'll do it.
Really? I don't know. Would you go to Dubai?
All expenses paid? Absolutely.
I've been to Africa already. I mean, that's what it's the same, right?
Not really.
No. All right. Are we
really
welcome
hot
over
there.
there? Are we okay over there?
Yeah.
I feel like we are.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just
All
got,
right.
can't do stupid things. You get 3 in jail for a lot.
Don't do stupid things.
Yeah, that's why I don't think I should go.
Listen
Yeah.
to who you're talking
I
to.
think if you do stupid things here, they throw you in jail too.
You gotta do a lot more stupid things here to get thrown in jail.
That is a good point. You can really get away with a lot of stupid shit here.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, we want to take a minute to have a moment of silence for everybody who perished in today's tragedy down in Texas. Our hearts, our thoughts, and our prayers are with the families of the victims tonight. It's very unfortunate things like that still happen. Let's try and entertain people tonight and take a ride in the metro. Sponsored by Nestle Quick. Hello, boys and girls. Do you hate the taste of regular milk and need energy? Try Nestle Quick. One sip and you can feel the energy in your muscles. Nestle Quick, now available in chocolate and strawberry.
They say the real men drink pink, then I'm a real man for sure. But if you like the brown, I still love you for who you are. Because it's time for acceptance of everyone, all preference. We're all quick on the inside anyway. Nestle Quick, it does the trick.
Don't give them any life. It's your
That's
job
one.
in the third period is not to give the Canes any life. Just
2 to
keep their
tie,
foot
3 to
on their
lead.
fucking throats. Keep
Oh,
your
relax.
foot on their throats.
It's over. Carolina's not going to score 3 goals the rest of the series. Never mind today's game.
Now, Billy, that is quite a statement coming from you. As I take your predictions as gospel in these playoffs. So you're saying that the Kings are not going to score 3 more goals after this one for the rest of the series?
Yeah, I think that's accurate because I think the series is going to be over in 6 games. They got their heads in the sand. They're like, they got no balls. They just remind me so much of Florida. It is a team that's got like no balls, no compunction for the playoffs. They're just not. They're
Who
just not a team that could step it up and.
he's
deal with
right.
the
Who are
adversity.
you afraid of on this team?
I mean, nobody.
There you go.
There's not anybody on this team that I wouldn't fight personally if I was in a hockey game. Not one person.
No.
The only person that I was kind of fearful of throwing a dirty hit would have been Svechnikov. But he hasn't really done anything in this series.
He's big. He could throw some weight around.
Right. And for a scorer, unless you're Ovechkin, you don't typically play that style. But he likes to throw his body around a little bit, and he really hasn't done that. But you're right. There's nobody on the Canes that I would be afraid of.
That you're afraid of, no.
I mean, I was afraid of Ronta before this game, but I don't know. He seems to not be very good on the road. So it's game 4 of the Rangers Hurricanes first round. It is midway through the third period, and Rangers are up 3-1. And I will be fairly distracted for at least the remaining of this game. But let's go through the first couple of games between the Rangers and Hurricanes, because it's the first time we're going to be talking about this series on this podcast where games have actually been played. So Carolina seems like they're a completely different team to me at home than on the road. Is it just matchups with them? Is that it? They can put Jordan Staal out on your team's number 1 line, and you have to depend on the other 3 lines to score. Is that it? That's their game plan?
It's the only possible reason.
Right, but it doesn't hurt that Ronta has an under 1 goals against average.
As a professional team, you shouldn't have to rely on your crowd that much for energy, right?
That's relying a lot. But that last change can't mean that much. I mean, Jordan Stahl's a great player, but I mean, the entire complexion of your team has changed when you play at home. It is unreal. Yeah. Not that they're playing a bad road game, because they haven't in the past 2 games.
No, it's a really tough place to play, and they really feed off the energy the crowd there for sure. Like, it's a big time difference. The Isles had a very similar kind of thing to that last couple of years, where they played really, really well at home and like just dog shit on the road. And
but you got to learn how to bring it when you're not at home. I mean, that's just
because as a playoff team, if you do not win road games, you're going to have a really hard time advancing.
Hard-hitting analysis coming your way.
Well, I mean, look, you can't win road games. You're not going to win. You're not going to win many series, and this looks like to be a mirror image of what the Canes and the Bruins had in the first round.
Yeah. All home team.
All home teams.
But just in the results you're talking about, like you're talking about game 1 went to Carolina, game 2 went to Carolina, and then they hit the road and they lost. I mean, I think the games themselves look a little different because I don't see any sign of any offense in Carolina. They've just shut down in the series. I mean, even in the games they won, they were barely doing it.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, like in game 1, the Rangers led 1-0 throughout most of that game. And, if Kakko hits an empty net, the Rangers probably win that game and steal a game in Carolina. That was a nice save by Ronta. But they don't. Aho scores under 3 minutes to go, and then a horrible deflection off of Ryan Lindgren in overtime spells the Rangers' defeat as they faltered Hurricanes.
I thought it was a beautiful tip-in. I thought it was a beautiful tip-in. Well executed.
If he was actually looking to do that, it was sensational. But the Rangers went into this defensive mode that we didn't see against the Penguins at all in any game. Were the Penguins just more seasoned and more of a playoff caliber team than Carolina?
It seems like they might have been.
Or did the Rangers just feel that? I'm sorry, Bill. I didn't mean to step on you. Go ahead.
That's all right. You go.
No, go ahead.
I said,
Jesus! Somebody say something.
Well, now you stepped on him. Jesus Christ. Could you shut up? It's been 73 episodes. You think we'd had this figured out already?
Offensively was never the Penguins' problem. So that's it. Yeah, it seems like, you know what, there was a little bit more for the Rangers to deal with, a little bit more for them to respond to. And yeah, definitely the Penguins were a seasoned offensive team. Now they had their other issues, as we figured out. But yeah, offensively they were going to show for sure. And
Or
this
the
Carolina
Rangers just
team,
gave them too much credit. You know, sometimes when you're playing a team like that, you give them, you overestimate what they're going to do.
You're talking about Carolina, or are you talking about Pittsburgh?
No, I'm talking about Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think the Rangers gave the Penguins too much. I don't think the Rangers respected the Penguins enough to go into this kind of defensive shell and try to hold them down. But you know, I felt the Rangers had a steal one in Carolina, and in game one, to me, that was probably their best chance to do it. They just couldn't score on Ronta after that early goal by Hedel in the first period. And Hedel had opportunities. There was plenty of Rangers who had opportunities in that game, mostly the bottom six guys. But same thing in game two. Game two, I mean, was basically a 1-0 game. Carolina hits an empty net. The Rangers really couldn't do anything on the power play. Carolina seemed like they were buzzing and really pinned the Rangers in every instance that they could. And Brendan Smith scores a shorthanded goal in the second period, and really that's it. That was basically the offense. Besides the Sebastian Aho empty netter in the third period with 2 seconds left to go. Sorry. Sorry. 4-1 Rangers. So you go into game three, and that's where you see the Hurricanes not get the matchups that they want. Rangers capitalize on a power play opportunity, and you get a goal by Kreider in the second period, kind of give you a little breathing room. Then Niederreiter scores on this backhand that really Shesterkin really stops 99 out of 100 times, or maybe 95 out of 100, because in the backhand you never really know where the puck is going to go. But there's a couple of glaring things in this series from the Rangers' perspective. One, they can't win face-off to save their lives, and we've seen that all year. And that seems to be everything that ESPN talks about, is how shitty the Rangers are on face-offs. We know how shitty they are, ESPN, on face-offs. It seems like they harp on it at every chance that they get. Artemi Panarin, besides that Game 7 OT game-winning goal, I mean, that was a huge goal, but he has really done very little outside of that. And Ryan Strome has become absolutely invisible and somebody that we do not want touching the puck at all, ever in the playoffs. He really, for whatever reason, he has really stopped producing, playing, making good decisions, doing anything right in the playoffs. And that has got to change, and it's got to change in a hurry. And then we are in game 4 tonight, and the Rangers, with about 8 minutes left to go in the third period, 4-1. It looks as though we're going to go back to Carolina tied at 2, and now it's a best of 3 with Carolina having 2 home games. And look, you have to win one of the games in Carolina now if you want to win this series. And I think the Rangers might have the momentum going into game 5 if they can hold on to win this game.
You think they might have the momentum going into game 5?
Yeah, because when Carolina plays at home, they're a completely fucking different team than what they do on the road. Completely different. And I'm very interested to see.
They absolutely have the momentum.
I want to see how that game's going to be played out against.
I don't
know. I just saw Nate just shoot the puck into the corner. Like, what the hell is he doing? But actually, calling in on the hotline.
No.
Is our favorite Carolina Hurricanes correspondent, Randy Travis III.
Yeah.
Randy,
Hey, y'all hear me?
is that like the thing that they play in Australia? What is that?
Hello,
Is that Michael Winslow?
y'all hear me?
Is this?
It sounded a little bit like Leghorn, foghorn going on over here.
Yeah. Wish
How
it was a
y'all doing?
fucking hurricane destroying your house.
What was that? What you were trying to do? Were you trying to do a wind?
No, it was just more. What are you talking about? Trying to do what? I wasn't doing anything.
Oh, so sorry.
I wasn't creating static.
That was static? No.
You were
That
trying to
was a
create
lousy
static on
static
his
impression.
CV. Don't you know? his
Everybody's a
antenna's really
fucking
good?
critic. What the fuck?
I mean,
Sorry,
not-
Randy. Go ahead.
not
You can
to-
talk.
I mean, Christ,
to
you want
hear
your own
your
impression
voice,
segment next
Steven.
week?
Nice to hear you.
Nice to hear you too, Randy. Welcome to the program.
What else can you impersonate? This is good. We might.
Here's my impression of Tom. Oh my God, these announcers, they hate the Rangers. What the hell?
Ray Ferraro fucking hates the Rangers.
Did he play for the Rangers?
Yes, he did. He did play with the Rangers.
Well,
Well, that was the first time I ever saw this. Watch Zabinajad. Well, wait for the replay and watch Zabinajad go to the bench and have to get his own stick.
Did he drop it?
No, something happened and like the equipment guy wasn't prepared. So he actually jumped onto the bench, went to the sticks, grabbed his stick. Watch.
Oh, he lost it. Yeah.
they
Okay,
should.
nobody wants to give me a stick. I'll go get my own. Thank you, and I'm back on the ice. And watch, he gets a breakaway.
Almost.
Almost.
All right,
Sorry,
sorry, Randy. Sorry, Randy.
Ice is slippery.
Randy, how are you?
Randy, I'm sorry.
This-
Welcome to Randy. Welcome to the program.
Well, it feels so nice to be wanted on this show. I really appreciate it. Thank you all.
I'm trying to
me-
turn a new leaf. I'm going to be nice to Randy this week.
Oh,
I thought you were always
Jesus,
nice
really
to me,
nice.
Steven.
What
Didn't
the-
realize you weren't being nice.
Okay. Then you really are a fucking idiot.
Well, there he
What?
is. I knew he was there.
No,
That
I
lasted.
Good old Steven.
didn't mean that.
That
I didn't
lasted
mean
so long.
that. I apologize.
We're gonna
Well,
be crazy.
anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about the series we have going on here with the Rangers and the Carolina Hurricanes. Thomas, I'm not sure how you feel about the series, but it feels very much a very close series outside of this game we're watching tonight. Every game seemed to be a one-goal game, and it's been very interesting to watch. But my goodness, this is very much difficult to watch these games without getting my heart beating out of my chest. Very, very exciting games. Really, really enjoying the series.
Randy, do you know what the score of game 3 was?
I do. It was
3-1, right? Yeah, not a 1-goal game, just so you know.
It was.
Do you know what the score of game
Empty
2
net
was?
goals.
It
Empty
was-
net goals don't make
Man,
it.
You know
that
what
way.
the, do you know what the
2-1
score of
hockey
game
game.
2
It was
was?
a
Thank
2-1
you.
hockey game.
Thank
2
you,
to
fellas.
nothing.
Thank you, fellas, for
Oh.
enlightening Steven to what an empty net goal is.
Doesn't
Do we need
matter.
to
Those are one
explain
goal
it to you?
Doesn't matter. The
Oh.
score is the score.
Very, very official, Steven, just like the referees. I appreciate that. All right. So I think it's been a very good series so far. Obviously, Carolina's having a much harder time winning on the road, much like in the Bruins series. I don't think they're going to lose at home if they continue to play that way. However, that's a problem if they go on to the next they continue to play because they're going to eventually not be the home have home ice the whole way through. So that's going to be a bit difficult.
At this point, though, it wouldn't be till the Stanley Cup final.
Randy, could it be the home cooking?
I mean, it's not potentially. I don't know. if
There's
it's
just
the-
no
the-
good barbecue joints in New York City, I guess.
It's really more of the sweet tea, I think, than anything else.
Of course,
Fuck.
it is.
It's a sweet tea.
Fucking
Damn,
sweet
that's
tea.
sweet tea.
Yeah, really, and
Fuck off.
it's all the time when they're traveling to the Northeast that they keep losing those road games. It's just the
Put,
Northeast.
why don't you put some in a fucking cooler and bring it with you then, stupid?
Well, I can't say what the team's doing, but I can say potentially the Rangers are drinking the wrong things when they come down to Raleigh. I really can't say, but
Oh, you think
may-
they're being kind of poisoned when they're on the road?
I think they're
A
not
good
really
strategy.
used to-
That's a good strategy.
Well,
Think
hey,
about-
listen, I think the Rangers have played 2 really good road games down in Raleigh. They've just been they haven't scored, as many goals as they did in the Garden. And that
I really thought you were going to say as they gave up, and then I was going to say just more hard hitting analysis.
right. Well, listen, it started with you last week. So, I think now hopefully this kind of opens the floodgates for them a little bit. And stay in that defensive shell a little bit and score more on the power play.
Well, I think the key to this would be keeping the Carolina Hurricanes got to stay off the power play because they can't score on power play. They got to play.
Can they decline the penalty?
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we just stay 5-on-5, or we just continue to go on the shorthanded side of the ice, because that way they'll be able to actually score goals, because we have the number 1 penalty kill in the league. And honestly, it's more dangerous than our power play, if we're being really honest with ourselves. So,
Hey, listen, game 2, you scored a shorthanded goal for that 1-0 win.
exactly.
Just that was just about as intelligent as anything Randy said to this point. So
Wow,
Now,
Steve,
Randy,
your
there-
streak of being nice to Randy lasted just.
I
and
forgot I
it
was trying
you were
to
doing
be
so
nice
good.
to him. I'm sorry. I
Yeah, you
apologize,
did say
Randy.
that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
He was being nice
I
to him
didn't
because he
take-
wasn't saying anything.
I'm sorry, Randy. I apologize.
I didn't take too much offense.
Good,
Your responses are kind of limited to the same routine.
Randy, I
so
got to ask you a question, a serious question here. So there's about 2 minutes left in the third period. Do you think that the Hurricanes are going to do any shenanigans in this game like they try to do in game 3?
I think you have to watch for Mr. Tony D'Angelo. He may try to take out Ryan Reeves. They don't seem to like each other very much.
I would Randy. I would love nothing more to see that. That would be
That would be
amazing.
worth the price of admission right there.
That would be
Reeves
awesome.
opportunity.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I think Reeves could throw him into the crowd, like over the netting too.
Would be awesome.
That would be amazing.
I mean, it's possible. I've seen a hog thrown by a large human, swing him around like a helicopter, just launched him 25 feet.
Oh, poor Hog. Was he
Well,
okay?
he was dead already. It didn't really
okay.
matter either way.
Was that like midget bowling? Was he a little person?
He wasn't a little person. It was a full hog.
Oh,
That day,
it was a hog. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you say that.
Of course, it was a fucking hog.
that day, I learned pigs could fly. All right, fellas.
You make it
I-
really fucking hard, Randy, to be nice to you. You really do.
He's giving you a
I-
boner? Oh, you meant okay, never mind.
Hey, Randy,
Hey,
can we count on you to come back next week so we can
To
close out
leave?
the series?
Goodbye, Randy. Thanks for stopping by. I
Certainly
appreciate
can.
it.
Certainly can. Thank you.
Good insider as always. Don't choke on the sweet tea.
I won't.
Good.
Well, Randy, thanks for
I'll pray
coming on
for
to
you.
talk a little bit of Canes with us. I'll be praying for you, and
Segment
look
was
forward
too
to
long.
talking to you next week, buddy.
Way too long.
All righty. Have a nice one.
You too.
Bye,
Episodes are the
Randy.
Best.
Oh, I love
Love
Randy.
Randy.
Randy's the
Douche
best.
Randy's my favorite.
I wish he'd
I
be
mean-
a permanent character.
No,
on this podcast.
no, he is
Oh,
not. No.
That would be
No.
That would be swell.
Then I'm off. Then I'm done. He
Okay,
can
so we
edit,
gotta.
he
So
can
do we have
edit
to
the
take?
podcast.
Do we have to make that a vote?
Go ahead. Bring that up to the
Yeah,
marketing department.
Well, listen. We're still covering Metro teams. I mean,
Good. No, you want it that way? You got it that way.
Oh, Steven.
So angry. Angry elf.
Hey, Nick's
All right.
back.
Oh, Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny Hockey up next.
Reeves and Domi. Little pushing and
I
shoving.
didn't get there yet. God damn it! You can't.
Little pushing and shoving. Up. Domi with a couple little shots to the. Nice.
Wait now.
Oh.
Come on! I think fuck. Let's go.
30 seconds. You just gotta wait 30 seconds.
Wait, does it happen at the buzzer?
Yes.
Oh, he tried to go into him a little bit. I saw that. That was hilarious. Does Max Domi think he's his father?
Max Domi's going to
Oh.
wait till game 7 and then he's going to score a hat trick. That's what he
Good
does.
fight.
No way.
Oh,
Well, he's just sitting there taking punches.
Yeah, but he gets a couple good shots. Ready? It's going to give him a little.
I haven't seen it yet. Now there's Ian Cole fighting. Is that Miller? He's got him in a headlock, dude. Let him breathe. What are you doing?
No, fucking choke him out.
Reeves and
I was
Domi
hoping
sit
somebody
there.
would be rattling Truba's head around.
Didn't he beat you up already? Go away. All right. Well, that was.
It was uneventful.
Where are these Domi
I mean-
shots? I didn't see any Domi do anything.
It was more like he just like
Just
he just
it.
like
Except
poked
being a
his
little
face.
It's
Bitch.
coming up.
He just poked him in the face a little.
No,
bit.
they're already split up. He's already heading to the
No,
locker.
watch the replay.
I mean,
Tell him.
he like
Yeah,
did those.
I thought it was more.
that-
Oh look, and
that's
now they're
it?
copying the Canes. Yeah, that was it.
Okay, that copying the Canes, the whole surge, the surge thing.
No, they've been doing that for a long time.
Not to be the old hoo, they're copying us, but the Rangers started that after the lockout.
Hey, they've been doing it a long
So-
time.
I mean, they've been doing it since after the lockout of what was that, 04? That first year with Kasperitis and Yager. That was one of the. In fact, that was Kasperitis' thing. So
Yep.
I'm sorry, the Rangers didn't copy this from you, Carolina.
No,
Remember how much
it's
Devils fans
different.
hated it when they would do that too? Way back in the day,
There's
Mhm.
Devil fans.
Devils fans
Really,
would circle up. The resentment.
really douchebag.
Well,
Uh,
look, you know what?
so mean, so mean to Randy. Then you don't like it when we get back to you. All right, Mr. Powface.
But Randy's a douchebag.
Have you talked to you before?
Yes, I talk to myself all the time.
Why can't Nico Heischer play for the Devils like he plays in the Worlds?
He did this season. That's how he
Wow.
played for them this season.
Wow, he is good.
He's good, man.
He is
Good.
a good hockey player. Anyway, that's enough about the Devils. Let's
Yeah,
we
that
didn't
was
get a
it.
chance
30
to do
seconds.
this.
There you go, Devils fans. You got it. 30 seconds. Woo!
Is it Penguins time yet?
Well, no, we didn't get a chance to talk about this last week.
But we didn't get a
because
chance to
Nick
talk
wasn't here.
any other team besides the Rangers. You're right.
No, we talked about the Penguins plenty. That was too much. In fact, we talked about the Penguins. Jesus Christ. Nick, the Islanders get a new quote unquote voice for the locker room and for the head coaching position. I don't even, what's his name?
Lane Lambert.
That's the guy. And he was the
That's the guy.
assistant for Barry Trotz.
Yep, he was
Oh,
assistant for Barry Trotz. He was looked at as the eventual head coach, which he clearly became. And a lot of people earmarked him as the guy to take over when Trotz's contract was up, potentially, because he was kind of been grooming him for a while. And even when Trotz got the news that that Lane got the job, he congratulated him and was really excited for him because I think that was kind of the plan over time. But it looks like, obviously we talked about before, Lou decided he needed to make a change. And, Lambert was hired a week later. It was really not a long, I think, drawn out process. I think it was kind of known what he wanted to do. But Lou being Lou didn't make the immediate hiring or, decide he was like, I'm going to talk to other people. But, we didn't interview anybody else. We interviewed Lane and probably that was it. There was some talk that he would be potentially poached at the end of the season by potentially Detroit. They look for a new coach, and hey, it was maybe that they were worried that Lane would get taken away, and they like him as the eventual replacement for Trotz. Trotz has had one more year left on his deal anyway, so it wasn't really clear on what was going to happen there. Plus, there was some talk that Lou and Trotz had some falling out a little bit. So maybe it's just the right time to make the move as opposed to waiting it out for a year. Maybe they've just decided, we got the guy now, we can always make the move and Lou obviously doesn't care about making a change like as drastic as he's done before. Even more drastic ones, I'd say, than Trotz being like, oh, now, considering it wasn't like a few weeks before the playoffs or whatever. That the one time he fired the head coach, was it right before the playoffs?
Yeah, twice he did it right before the playoffs.
Yeah, so that's so I mean that it feels like that's the case. It could have been that. Now, coaching wise, like he's not much different. They're in the same style, the same system. I guess the kind of the thought here amongst all the people that follow the team closely and feel that he could be a little looser for the younger players and just the offense in general than Trotz. Trotz is known to be a real stickler for the details, really tough on guys that just don't play exactly as he wants them to play. And that could be really having an effect with Barzal having a contract year coming up. This is his last year until he's an RFA. And, he's stated he wants to be here, but that's kind of the thing with, every player that's kind of come up on the end of a contract, they're always like, I want to be here. I want to sign a long-term contract here. But he wants to be happy too. He doesn't want to just play the same system forever, I feel like. I was reading some comparisons to him and Goudreau, because Goudreau is breaking out now. He's 28 and he's played a system that's more defensive, but at the same time, I don't think they're the same kind of player. I've watched Barzal for quite some time. He's really dynamic. He can score. He can make assists. He can take the puck up, but he's definitely limited in the offense that we have. There's no question there. I think he's got the forwards to make it happen though. So I don't want to be optimistic yet. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping.
So are we gonna start calling him Matty Hockey now?
Matty Hockey. That's
Matty
a good
Hockey.
nickname.
Is that what we got to do?
Matty Hockey.
All right.
Matty Hockey. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm hoping that it opens up the offense a little bit. And you guys know that we have a glut of forwards that are paying a lot of money for, and they can score goals in a lot of different in multiple lines. But it hasn't really been the priority the last couple of years because of 4 years since Trotz got here. So we'll see. I think it's I'm liking the fact that the system won't change too much, but I'm hoping it'll give the guys a little bit more time to.
He has no head coaching experience, right? Lane Meyer.
Lane Lambert. I don't think so. I think
never ever going to call him Lane Lambert, Nick. Get that out of your head now. He's Lane Meyer.
His name is going to be Lane Meyer.
Truly a spectacular feat.
Let's see. I guess he was head coach in the AHL. He was a head coach, yeah, but not in the NHL. This is his first NHL go. So yeah, that's the case. Hopefully, he'll help the Wahlstrom, Barzal, and Bellows all.
I think the Islanders are going to kind of return to form next year, regardless of who is their coach. Just in a with time off now and kind of a chance to recharge your batteries. Trotz still could have been their coach next season.
It wouldn't have mattered. Yep.
It probably wouldn't have mattered. Probably.
Agreed.
But it's probably better for the players that they stay with the same system. They just get a little different a voice, like you said, in the locker room, and they take it from there. So good for them. Good for Lane Meyer. Well done. Well, another thing we didn't do last week because Nick, you were the center of our podcast. It was like someone ripped the heart out of our podcast last week and just made it completely about the Rangers. I loved it. These guys hated
a half hour off the show.
Hated it. So what we didn't do last week was our top 5 list. So we have our top 5 list here tonight, and this is top 5 cartoons. Top 5 cartoons next week. Top 5. What do you think? You think an action figure or toys in general?
Toys in general.
Toys in general. Let's do toys in general. I like that. That's where I was going. Nick, the heart of our show. Since you weren't here last week, lead us off. Honorable mentions, kid.
Hold on. This is action figures, you said?
No, this is
No.
top 5 cartoon.
Oh,
Next week.
Okay.
Next.
Why? Okay.
Next
I thought I heard it wrong. All right, just making sure. I was like, I'm not prepared.
You thought you heard wrong. You did hear wrong.
I did. Yeah. So, excuse me. Cartoons. This is a hard one, man. I'm not gonna lie. There's like a billion cartoons out there. I've watched a lot of cartoons growing up. Even today, well, not today, but in the last 20 years, I've watched plenty of cartoons, and so this is a tough one. I had a couple honorable mentions. Animaniacs, honorable mention, and Dragon Ball Z, which is an anime you guys may or may not have heard of before. I don't even know if you guys watch any anime.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Now, Nick, did you watch porn that was anime too?
That's called
Dragon Ball
hentai. No,
That's
not.
I'm so sorry. What was it called?
It's called hentai. Hentai. That's the name of it, of Japanese of anime porn. It's that's not my cup of tea, to be honest. Maybe yours, Thomas.
Wow, I didn't even know the fucking name.
That's the sweet
So, I mean, I'm just saying.
But yeah, Dragon Ball Z was amazing anime that was kind of like brought a lot of mainstream brought to the mainstream in the US.
Definitely,
really.
yeah.
So
that's the first one that that's the one I remember. The first one I remember hearing about.
They brought over
definitely sounds like a porn.
Before that, it was like, what was the girl superhero one?
Sailor Moon.
Yeah, Sailor Moon. That was the one before that, but not as popular as Dragon Ball Z by any
I've
stretch.
heard of Dragon Ball Z.
imagination.
I haven't heard of the chick one.
Sailor Moon. Yeah, it's like a older one. It's exactly what you expected from like early 90s
Yeah.
kind of TV show. It wasn't. I don't know. That was a weird one. But if you watch like Dragon Ball Z, that was like the jumping off point for like people to be like, wow, there's a lot of like completely different things for cartoons that they could be. Just such a different style and mentality and kind of like overarching stories that last forever, hundreds of episodes, and just continuous story. So really cool, really interesting.
I will go next. My honorable mentions are, I don't have any because unlike Nick, in the last 30 years, I have not watched many cartoons.
Lame.
So I have no honorable mentions.
Ugh.
Boring.
Yeah, so my honorable mentions are kind of because I haven't really been watching cartoons for quite a lot of years. My honorable mentions are South Park and Family Guy, both cartoons that I definitely enjoy, that I find very funny. But I can't put them on my main list because I can't claim to be a fan of them that has watched them religiously. So
Well, listen,
I do like.
I agree with you, Bill, but I think and mine are ones because they're mainstays of the cartoons that I watched when I was a kid. They were the cartoons, man, that I watched. And these newer cartoons, as much as I love them, they just don't beat out any of those old ones. And mine's Family Guys, and Animaniacs was a good one. And the most recent one of mine is Big Mouth. And thanks to Steve for bringing that to my attention, because that show made me laugh really fucking hard. Really fucking hard. Has anybody got a season yet? I mean, Steve, I know you've gotten through a season or most of a season. No?
Yeah.
Bill, you've only got through one episode?
Still, yeah, I plan on going back at some point. But like I said, there's not so many cartoons that I go to.
But listen, there's Christmas episodes that are coming. There's really a lot of good, funny shit that happens in that show. If you get a chance to watch Big Mouth, it is really great. It's really, really great. So those are my honorable mentions.
Number 5. Nick?
Number 5, Bojack Horseman, which is a show on Netflix. I did have Bojack as one of the characters on my top 5 character list a couple weeks ago. Fantastic show. Went to almost. I don't think I really watched too much of the last season. I did, but I was like falling asleep during a lot of episodes. So I'm gonna have to go back and finish watching that last season. But fantastic show. think it's like 6 seasons, but it's a dark comedy about depression and all these like what's it like not alcoholism is a big piece of it, but it's really just about addiction. And it's really interesting. It sounds terrible, but if you watch it, it's absolutely hilarious. And
This is Bojack Horseman.
In doing
Yeah.
what little research I did for this week's episode, this show landed in the top 3 of quite a few lists I came across.
Yeah.
As
It's just good.
as best animated show ever.
I'm done with Big Mouth, so I need another one. So I think
It's-
Bojack Horseman might be the one.
It's really good. It's really good. It's really layered and it's a deep show. It's not like, it's kind of pushes the boundaries of what like a cartoon can be. And I think it's a really, really good show. Will Arnett is the voice actor, the main character. So
Big Mouth, apparently.
I haven't watched it yet. I'll get there eventually. Me and Tara will watch it. Kind of in the middle of Yellowstone right now, so gonna have to get through that before we take on your show.
All right.
So just in case everybody's already sick of hearing about it, my number 5 is Big Mouth. We can move on to Bill.
Oh, that was quick. Well, my number 5 is I traded away my number 5 cartoon pick.
Oh.
What?
This is the story that I couldn't get into last week. Right?
Jesus.
But yeah, so
When
I
the synopsis is this the one?
yes, I had 4 cartoons, and I was every Wednesday going to New Brunswick and do my jury duty. And so every Wednesday at lunchtime, I end up at Old Man Rafferty's at the bar. Gosh, not ordering alcohol. No, I don't do that. I take my civic duty too seriously. But I gave away my number 5 pick to my bartender because I had 4, and I said to her, "Hey, what was your favorite cartoon?"
Yeah, I was going to say what's her
it
name?
had to be a her, right?
I was
Yeah,
going to say
absolutely.
what's her name?
No doubt. You're
Right.
not having this.
That's-
You're not having this
that's the
conversation
name.
with a guy bartender. Not happening.
That's right. And that was the name of the person that I put in our headline last week in what our show was called. So her vote is for Fairly Odd Parents. So I checked out an episode of this. Was a Nickelodeon show, and you know what? It reminded me of a Nickelodeon version of Big Mouth. So like
Ooh.
of course a family friendly, but that kind of theme where like there's a little bit of weirdness going on, a little bit of otherworldly elements, voices and things. And it's a show that I wish I don't know when it came out. Actually, I didn't research it that much. It's the kind of show that like if my kid was into it when he was a kid, I would have liked having it on because it wasn't like overly childish. There were themes in there that while it was not adult at all, there were things there for adults that they would find amusing. So there's my number 5.
Okay.
My number 5 is very mainstream.
Wait, I'm sorry, Tom. Before you go on, Bill, you saying you traded this pick away to the bartender. What did you get in return?
I actually used the word traded just to piss you off because I got nothing in return. It was like a trade to
Jesus
Arizona.
fucking Christ.
So you just shot past it to
This fucking shit again.
Billy cartoons. Oh,
I trade. No, you know what I traded it for? I doubled our female listenership because she's gonna check it out. And the only other woman that I've ever had any evidence ever had listened to the show was Nick's mom. So I have doubled our female demographic.
There is no
Accurate.
way she's going to listen to this show based on a conversation with you.
She should
No way.
because it's a real slap shot.
She wrote it down.
All
she
right,
wrote down-
listen.
wrote
At
down the
friends
podcast.
_rivals on Twitter. Follow us, tweet us, do whatever you need to do. I want to hear from you. What's her name?
Ren, reach out
Ren.
to us.
Ren and Stimpy.
You're
I
right.
need to hear from you. Billy was obviously the Stimpy in that fucking conversation. Ren, we need
I'm
to
sure
hear
she
from
doesn't
you.
get that enough too, Tom. Good
Yeah.
call.
No, I know. All right, my number 5 is very, very mainstream. Like my number 5 cartoon character. My number 5 cartoon comes from the show he was from, and that is Transformers.
Number 5, huh?
Yeah, Transformers to
Wow.
me were just. It was, man, what a great show. What a great show. And Megatron actually looked like a fucking gun. He was silver, and he had that arm piece on him. Ugh, it was great.
Number
was too
4.
Number 4 might be. We'll see what you guys think about this one, but this is a show I grew up watching late at night on MTV called Liquid Television. You guys happen to remember or ever seen Liquid Television?
I remember it. I don't think I watched it, but I remember it.
It was it was a bunch of shorts. It was basically a almost like a variety show of sorts. Now, some of it was live action. It was parts of it, but most of it was animation. It was actually the first time Beavis and Butthead were on MTV. It was a short, and that's kind of where the show kind of originated from. Same with the show Aeon Flux, which if you remember that one at all, became a movie eventually with Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
But it was a TV show on TV as well. But short from there as well. It started from that. And there was some other wacky shit on there. But it was just such a fun kind of like show. I didn't have any it wasn't like amazing. I just remember it really well growing up and having all these just being excited to watch it for some crazy shit. Like the show, one thing was called Dog Boy. It was like a weird it was live action, but it was this guy dressed up as a dog and he was like a detective and it made no fucking sense. And it was just you come on. It was like this catchy ass song. I'll have to find it for you because it was hilarious, but it was terrible. Anyway, that's my number 4.
In a similar vein to Nick's, my number 4 was a little trippy as well. It's the Smurfs.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just remember enjoying watching the Smurfs as a little tyke.
Nice.
Everybody had their job, and that was what they did, and that was it. You couldn't do anything ever that wasn't your fucking name.
Vanity was hot.
You're Handy. Don't think of stepping in the fucking kitchen, Handy. You fix shit. You don't cook shit. So
what? Smurfette, what was her job?
She was the woman. She was there to exactly. She was there to bang all the other Smurfs. Make little Smurfs. That was her job.
Wow. Okay, so my number 4 this is my only action in the spirit of Transformers kind of cartoon that I got on my list. Mine was Mask. I was so into that show. The regular looking cars or motorcycles or helicopters that turned into attack planes or tanks.
No, it was the motorcycle that turned into a helicopter.
Motorcycle turned into a helicopter, and then the bad guy's helicopter turned into an attack plane.
Yeah. Oh man, that was such a great show.
Very underrated. Very, very underrated.
The Vasilesky cartoons.
That was not GoBots. That was no GoBots. That was a much better.
I thought we were gonna get through the segment without somebody saying fucking GoBots. Really?
Come on. Gotta say, someone's gotta say GoBots.
Did anybody else have a fight with their family member or some friend that GoBots were not Transformers and Transformers were way better? Or vice versa?
No, I think if I ran across anybody that thought that, they would have gotten punched in the fucking face.
I distinctly remember having this conversation with my cousin growing up, and he was like, GoBots are better. I was like, they're stupid. Transformers the best. And
wait, is this the cousin? Is it your cousin who likes me?
No.
I
haven't talked.
Oh, well, then fuck him.
Yeah. He's like a second cousin. This one. I don't know how exactly it's related, but
he's from Long Island, right? He's from Long Island.
Long Island.
He's not even related. He just shows up at parties. They just
I don't know how he was related to the family.
Your dad cooks really well, man.
He's really a homeless guy.
He was a kid.
My number 4 going more mainstream cartoons, man. G.I. Joe, number 4 for me.
Wow.
You're just going all the classics. All the classics.
Hey, listen, they're all classics.
I know it. I knew it. You're gonna be classics.
I'm a classic kind of guy.
Number 3, arguably one of the best cartoons ever put together in a few seasons. Avatar: The Last Airbender. It sounds like really kind of weird.
Where the fuck do you watch these cartoons? Because I have never even heard of that cartoon.
Avatar was actually originally on Nickelodeon. It was where it was produced and aired on there. And it was just I would never have watched it, but it got recommended to me and I watched, and it's an unbelievably well done show. It has a perfect arc of like, character development and just super good. One of those shows that doesn't have a lot of fillers and some really, really good characters. And they, of course, M. Night Shyamalan made a horrendous version of a live action movie of it, which he should have been shot out in the back. It was a terrible decision for him touch anything like that. But it was a fantastic show. 3 seasons, and it has another spin-off show, and they're probably gonna do another one after that. And but the original one was really, really good, and it's a great show to watch the kids if you ever wanted to do that. Because Charlie and Ben just fell in love with it like after the first episode, and we binged all the episodes. It was fun. So good show.
I'm actually going to take a step back and give you an honorable mention that just came to my mind. I don't know why it escaped my mind until just now.
Friggin' rounds.
So honorable mention, Tom and Jerry.
Fuck Jerry.
And now I'll give you my number 3. My number 3 is a twofer because it was basically the same show, the Flintstones and the Jetsons.
What? No. Whoa.
Basically the same show.
They're not basically the same show. One's in the past, one's in the future.
You got a married couple.
2 different shows.
You got the kids, you got
Zoo
friends.
was on both of them.
Basically the same show.
Okay.
So, Flintstones, Jetsons, number 3.
Jesus.
George Jetson was born in 2020. Okay, my number 3 is the Animaniacs. I think those were not mentioned for somebody before, but
paid contracts.
all the different characters that had their different little mini shows within the show were all awesome. Slappy the Squirrel, easily the worst of all of them, was still fucking good.
Still hilarious.
And Pinky and the Brain, amazing. The one that I find very Vasilevsky, very underrated, Chicken Boo. Holy shit. So fucking funny.
You guys might as well be
giant
speaking a
chicken.
different fucking language.
But listen, if you ever want your kids to learn state capitals or countries of the world, Animaniacs are your go-to on YouTube. Go-to.
Just YouTube Animaniacs World. Yeah, I think the World one's better. That one's just such a good.
Feel like I got dropped on a different planet.
I think Ryan can sing the Capitol song, like by heart.
Probably.
He's amazing with it. Well, my number 3 is the grown-up version of the Animaniacs, and that is Looney Tunes. More specifically, Bugs Bunny, but I'll take any kind of Looney Tunes, any Looney Tunes cartoons. I'm in. I'm watching. They were even like the newer ones that you saw on ABC in the mornings, on Sunday mornings. They were pretty good. But give me a classic Bugs Bunny cartoon. I'm all in.
Classic.
Did we do like top 5 movies?
No, definitely not.
Then we have to break it down into Steve.
I'm ready.
Here with
comedy, dramas, I wanted sports. I couldn't remember.
We did sports movies. We did sports movies. Didn't we do sports movies?
No, we've only done food.
5. We talked about
sports
movies.
Sports movies.
But we didn't do a list.
But we didn't do a list.
I only asked because I was gonna say, where does Space Jam rank in your top 5 movies if Looney Tunes is so high up?
It doesn't. The fuck are you talking about?
All right.
These are cartoons. I mean, it's complete. Like the Transformers movie was really, really good, but it doesn't go in my list of movies.
Like the animated Transformers.
Maybe top 50 and like animated movies. Yeah, it might hit there.
You're talking about the animated Transformers movie, right? Not the Michael Bay movies.
No. We're
okay.
Classic.
You got the touch. You got the power.
Where Optimus Prime died and Rodimus Prime. Oh man, that was I think I cried.
Everybody cried in that. Come on, that was like
you weren't a human if you didn't cry.
No. All right, back to the topic.
Sorry.
Number 2. No, sorry. That was my fault there. Number 2. Probably my favorite show growing up was like this young range wise. I had started watching the original. Was it the 60s show? and then when I came home from school, and then one day on Saturday mornings they started putting on. I think it was Saturday morning cartoons. They started putting on. It might have been after school though. Can't remember now. Batman, the animated series. Because when they used to just play the '60s show when I was a kid, so that's how I grew up learning Batman. And I was like, this is kind of goofy, but it was fun. But then the animated series came on, and it was so dark for a kid's show. It was so gritty, and like it really encompassed Gotham City. You had Mark Hamill as like the Joker, voice Joker, just unbelievable. Like it was such a good show, and every episode was, really like a different character, different bad guys, and like it was very episodic, but it was just such a great show. And I remember watching that and being like such a huge fan of Batman from that, that era of watching that for when I was a kid. But man, it left an impression on me. I love that show so much. It was such a good one.
I thought you were gonna say like Captain Caveman or Grey Babe or something, but
Great Babe.
Great Babe.
Number 2 for me, and I was surprised Tom had this so low, and Bill, I don't even think had this on his list, is Transformers.
Classic.
Yeah, I'm just shocked it's so low on your list.
It's not so low. It's in the top 5.
Yes, but it's so low. It was number 5, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's ahead
Hence
of Family
so
Guy. It's
low
ahead
on
of
your
Animaniacs. It's ahead of a lot of cartoons that were.
Yes, I just said I was surprised it was so low on your list. That's all I said.
And speaking of the Transformers question, what people would call Transformers, everything, for the record, every toy in my house was a Transformer. Whether it was actually Transformers, whether it was GoBots, whether it was Voltron, whether it was a masked vehicle, they were all Transformers.
They were all Transformers.
Yeah.
And I assume that was when they were referenced to Bill, come clean up your fucking Transformers. That's, I believe.
Yeah, she didn't use the F word as much as she would work in the S word a lot.
I even had the dinosaur Transformers.
Oh man, they were awesome.
And Devastator with the construction materials.
Okay.
Devastator was fun.
Yeah, what was number 5 on your list? So why don't you shut the fuck up so Bill can talk?
So my number 2 is Tom's number 3. It's Looney Tunes. That was my number 2 cartoon. Bugs and Marvin the Martian, Pepe Le Pew, all those classic guys, the Mel Blanc voice and all those shows. Yosemite Sam. I mean, goddamn, funny shit.
Goddamn. Watch me dive and not into this big pool of water, but into this ordinary drinking glass. Sorry. You said Yosemite Sam, and I thought of that Bugs Bunny episode where he was on the high diving act.
Okay. This is why the show's an hour and a half.
my number
And I
2.
love every second.
My number 2 got everything. I made the sword out of cardboard.
You love it because you only listen to it one time. I've got to listen to it several times.
He-Man number 2.
He-Man number 2 for Tom. Great.
He-Man number 2 by the power of Grayskull.
Now we get to the not debatables.
Not
Well, I think
no.
before we get to number 1, I'm going to tell you right now, I think multiple people have the same number 1, so it's not going to be debatable. Go ahead.
We'll see.
Won't be me.
No, and Nick's going to come out with
For
some
sure.
fucking dark comedy hentai something. Is it hentai? Can
No,
you
it's
say
not. No, it's not. I'll send you a link later though, Tom.
Nick's number 1 is Fran Drescher, the animated series.
that? Was that a thing?
Hey!
Why you should have said that for next week's impressions?
It might not have been a thing, but Netflix has just picked it up for a 20 episode series.
Hi boys, how you doing?
The fuck is?
I thought it was
You thought you were done with me, but I'm back.
All right, that was a great Gilbert Godfrey impression. But holy shit!
All right, my number 1 is probably not on any of your lists. Show I grew up watching and in like around 7th, 8th grade. So I don't know, 13, 14. Another it's a show called Exo Squad. I don't know if you ever saw it, but it was a basically a very interesting sci-fi cartoon show It lasted 2 seasons. It was like 60 episodes, but it was really, really good. It
What channel
essentially
was this on?
it was on channel 11. It was on really early in the morning.
Really?
It was yeah. I used to watch it for school every day. I get up at, I don't know, whatever time and then watch.
4:30.
No, I think I have like 6:50, jumped in the shower, got out, watched from 7 to 7:30, and then got dressed and did everything else I had to do. Get out the house. Yeah, it was about so I don't know if you guys know
Anything about it? No, we don't.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. Did any of you guys watch Battlestar Galactica, the newer version of it?
Billy's your only hope here.
No. Okay. All right. So anyway, the story is really, really simple. It's like it's like 150 years in the future. Mankind's like moved on to like Venus and Mars, and they're terraforming the planets. Blah blah. Anyway, they developed a whole race of people that are gonna work for them. They're just basically like slaves.
What are they?
That's a good
The Gozers? The Gobers? What are they on?
Yeah.
And
then they make them so that they're like really strong, really, really intelligent, but they're subservient. And long story short, they rebel. They rebel and basically they just take everybody over. And then the whole story is about the Terrans trying to take back their the planets and all this stuff. And it's a really really good show. It was like really crazy because it was a show that was on 7 o'clock in the morning, and it was like all this themes in the show were about like racism and like genocide,
Class war.
all this class war. It was really, really like deep, and I remember like certain episodes were really, really interesting, and like how they had just like some really personal things with some of the characters, and it was like nuts to me, like being such an early show. And it was a cartoon. It was basically a cartoon from like the 90s where they created a bunch of toys, sold them, just like every other show from the 90s and 80s. But it was really interesting.
It wasn't something light and airy at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Totally opposite. And it was all about war and like the effects of war, and it was so much of like these deep themes throughout every episode. It was really an impressive show. But it didn't really last too long. Lasted like 2.5 years. Somehow they made like 39 episodes in the second season. I don't know how the hell they make that happen, but it got canceled. It was made by Universal, and then I guess they had some downturn in terms of their overall like budget and cut the show, and that was it. But it was a fantastic show.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of mine either. My number one. It was a show called G.I. Joe. Did you ever hear about it?
Real American Heroes?
That one.
Yeah.
I'm vaguely familiar with that one.
Okay. So yeah, that was my number one. It was about good versus evil.
Oh, wow.
Laser beams. Lots of laser beams.
Yeah.
What did BAT stand for? Do you remember?
No.
BATT. The bad guys. Did you even watch the show? God damn it.
The bad guys were Cobras.
Yeah.
No, they had the robot guys that were with them. The bats. No.
Nick, somebody wants to talk to you.
Fuck off.
Bill, go ahead.
But I don't know what bat meant.
Trust me, he's looking it up.
I didn't know there was going to be trivia involved with this list.
My number one is Futurama. It was a comedy. I mean, just a show that it was just a great comedy, and in fact, when I think back to that era, like I mean, it's pretty much the only network comedy, cartoon or otherwise, that I would watch religiously in the last 25 years. I mean, that and 30 Rock, I think, are the two comedies that I watched on.
That was Fox, right? Futurama was Fox.
It was, yeah, it was Fox. So I mean, it was a cartoon because it needed to be, because of the imagination of all the stuff in the future. But a really well written comedy with incredible talent. Billy West is, I mean, utterly amazing voice talent. and just the whole, all the characters were just really interesting, and great, all sorts of different kinds of stories. So a little bit of a love story, a little bit of just really, it was a show that had a lot of heart, but just was also extremely irreverent and fun. So my favorite cartoon.
Wow.
I was wrong. Nobody has the same number ones. Mine, classic. I watched every episode religiously of this as often as I could, and that was Voltron. Voltron was my number one cartoon growing up.
It's a good one.
Did you end up watching
It was a good one.
the new series on Netflix?
No,
You should. It's really good.
no, I watched the old ones on YouTube.
I mean, understandable. Okay. Bill, do you remember like the Jurassic Park episode for Futurama?
More
That's
trivia.
the one with the dog.
Yes. When I said that there was a lot of heart in that show, that was definitely one of the episodes that stuck out in my mind. Yeah.
I haven't watched that show in a long time, but all you have to do is watch the episode one time, and you're like, okay, this fucking show.
If you ever owned a pet, you're gonna fucking cry. You are gonna fucking cry. Even if you didn't own a pet, you're probably gonna fucking cry.
Probably gonna cry anyway.
And
Not a cut
no.
Oh.
No. What do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, there's other things going on in the NHL that we should talk about, right?
But we're an hour and 10 minutes in already.
Yeah, and we'll keep it very brief about what's going on in the other playoff series. Well, one of them's over, right? The Lightning beat the Florida Panthers in a sweep, which was
gutless Panthers.
my
What a
God.
fucking joke, Florida.
I really didn't think.
Goals.
I mean, look, you trade for Ben Sherratt, you trade for Claude Giroux at the deadline. You should go a little deeper than getting swept in the second round by the Tampa Bay.
They have in the next 2 years,
Oh,
they have one pick
oof.
in the first, second, or third round.
Eesh.
And it's a second rounder next year.
And it's not like Florida. It's not like the Panthers are a big market team, so you can see a lot of these players are going to be in Arizona.
They're gonna be in Kansas City.
You think they're going to move to Kansas City?
They're gonna move to Kansas City.
If Arizona didn't move to Kansas City, nobody is.
Nobody is. No.
Nobody is. And this Calgary Edmonton series is kind of a little bit of a shocker to me.
Yeah.
Edmonton's now up 2-0 in the first period, and could potentially go up 3-1 in the series. Shocking.
I don't get it. Calgary
That's
just-
Connor. That's
so
Connor
good for them.
McDavid saying, "I will not be beaten."
And he's found this magic with Evander Kane. It's unbelievable.
It's
Vander must have money
surprising.
on himself.
I mean, how many goals they have in that one game? It was like 9 goals or something. In
Yeah.
the
The first game.
first
That was the game they
Oh.
lost. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they gave up 9.
It was 6 they had or something.
Yeah.
And they've really gotten Calgary off their game. It's completely evident they're just playing at a different level right now. And if they win this game, I don't know. I don't know how
Yeah,
Calgary's
it's
gonna
gonna
come
be
back.
it's gonna
Yeah.
be tough to come back and beat them 3 times.
Look,
Although
it could be
Toronto's
done,
done.
of course, but it's going to be tough.
They could pull a Toronto special here and just fuck themselves over that way. But hey, you know what's interesting? Tampa wins the series. This is the 10th straight series they've won. The record held by the Islanders in the 80s is 19. They are just
Wow.
over the halfway point. That's a pretty impressive amount of series in a row to win.
Yeah.
Just no matter how this playoff ends up, they're getting close to a dynasty, real close.
And only the Islanders and the Canadians have ever won that many playoff series in a row besides them.
They did it without
Islanders,
point.
the only ones.
They did it without point too.
Huh?
Yeah,
Without
without
point, yeah,
without
yeah.
point, yeah.
Yeah, but that's just testament to that team. That team is they're just built to win. We were talking about earlier, Carolina not looking that real well built for the playoffs. I don't disagree. I think certain teams just can do it all. They're a team that can do it all, and they keep drafting superstars. Kucherov, Point, come on, these guys just keep falling to them, and they're not like okay players. They're really good.
No, and it did look like St. Louis was going to at least a little bit of a fight, and they did so in Game 3, but then in Game 4 they just got obliterated. And I think that series is over. What, tomorrow night? They play tomorrow night.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah. See, I told you it would go relatively quick. Why'd you have to be all nutty?
Because we've been on for an hour and 45 minutes already.
It doesn't matter how long the podcast
time
is.
for Trivia with
As long as
Bill.
the content is good.
Now this is the wrong bell.
This one's gonna be quick. Everybody's happy because you guys can't fuck around with this question. There's literally
Bullshit.
no way. In what round of the NHL entry draft did the Columbus Blue Jackets select Cam Atkinson? You just gotta tell me which number round it was. There's only a few choices.
13th round.
64.
No, there's no. The actual draft only goes like 6 rounds.
13.
Was it the?
Then the 7th round.
I just said 13. Wasn't it the supplementary draft where they got awarded an extra pick because they suck so bad?
Supplemental. Good call,
No,
Nick.
it wasn't a supplement. You guys
Good
want
call.
I promised Steve a fast trivia question. Do you want the multiple choice?
No.
What
If
number?
there's only 6 rounds, we don't need the multiple choice because the multiple choice just is 4. So you're only knocking out 2 rounds by giving us the multiple choice.
So he wears number 13. That was a good choice. That was a good idea in round 13.
So I'm going to say round 4.
Round 4 is incorrect.
1 and 3 is 4. So round 4 is the answer. Thank you. Next.
Round 2.
Nope. Cam Atkinson.
I'm going to say round 5.
Nope.
Round 6.
Steve got it. It's round 6. What a good question. I told you we would speed through this one.
Stupidest fucking book
Fantastic.
ever.
What a dumb fucking question that was. Jesus Christ.
I feel like
When are we
I want.
really coming
No,
out
when are we
with the
guys?
Friends and Rivals, the trivia book?
We should, Bill. You should just make up your own book. You at this rate, you're gonna know all the trivia, and you can make better questions.
He knows a lot of trivia. It's all in his fucking head right now. He's got to bang it out.
Just got to
I got-
sit
I
at a
got lots
typewriter
more.
and just.
I got lots more where George Jetson's birth year came from.
Man,
Jesus Christ, he's going to town. He's going to Harkness that shit.
he's
Hell yeah.
fucking, he's riding that wave
yeah.
as much as he can.
Holy
As
fuck.
well he should, God damn it.
Wow,
That was a fucking gem.
that was good.
Guy knows
That was
he
good.
knows one obscure factoid, and
No.
he's just going to say it every week.
That was a fucking gem. All right, let's go to this date in Steve's stomach.
Oh, that feels better.
This
All
one's
right,
going to bring
great.
us to the year of our Lord 2017. Why is it so small?
Hey,
Not in the book. The book.
oh,
You
I don't know.
said it
It's
was a
just,
good size.
just got a smaller.
They said it was girthy.
Just got a smaller one this
It's like
week.
the back of a Volkswagen.
No, libido to attack?
Oh,
Second scooter.
Why does it sound like something you do in the bathroom?
please go to September 7th.
Let me guess. A chocolate covered pretzel.
September 7th.
Was a
little bit melty.
Thursday. I had. Oh, I must have taken off this day, and we went to the Blue Water Grill for breakfast, where I had a pork roll and cheese sandwich and home fries.
The Blue Water Grill?
Yes,
Say pork roll and cheese, or
that
pork
is
roll,
down
egg
in
and cheese?
the Long Beach Island.
Ah,
So a pork roll and cheese sandwich, home fries on the side, not on the sandwich.
Hold on, pork roll and cheese.
Yes,
there's no
What
egg
about
there.
the egg?
No,
I don't get egg
He doesn't get
when I
egg.
get
He doesn't
pork.
eat
roll.
egg. He doesn't eat egg, nor does he drink coffee.
I don't get egg on my pork roll sandwich.
Just that shitty pork roll and cheese.
Nothing
No
gets
egg.
between my meat and me.
What the fuck is that?
Dinner was at Daddy-O's down Long Beach Island, where we had calamari appetizer,
Yeah, you're
chicken
right.
sandwich,
You
and
look at
fries
ice cream
on the side, Diet Coke, and then ice cream at Skipper Dipper to wrap it up.
You play mini golf too, or no?
Not on this particular day, no. Did we wind up playing miniature golf at all? That nope.
Steve, we're an hour and 20 in. Let's go. Come on, quick.
No miniature golf that
Make
week.
it quicker. Jesus Christ.
Why did you pick the 7th of September,
This
2017?
was the greatest day that the National Hockey League has ever seen.
When Gretzky get traded?
Paul Bissonnette retired from hockey.
Fuck you, Biz.
You fucking scumbag.
Actually, I've
Not
decided.
music,
I've turned the page on Paul. I'm actually Team Bissonnette now, given
one
his
actually-
detest for the Rangers.
No one cares.
The biz nasty.
Oh, he is the biggest scumbag going. And I made it a point not to give him any publicity or anything. And this was I wanted to come up with something creative for this. That's why I did it. But the best way to get back at him is not to talk about him.
Oh, but we did. We just
Well,
did
I
talk.
mean,
about it.
it was too topical not to do it. And
You just gave him publicity because any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, I guess so. But I guess publicity about being a scumbag is good. So okay. Did you guys see the Sean Avery thing I passed around today?
That was great.
That
That was-
hilarious. Come on, he ended it. The ending was the greatest where he said, "Fatty sister-in-law fucker didn't shake my hand." That was
Said
great.
Pavin sucks and Fatty didn't shake my hand.
And
That
Fatso
was
didn't shake my hand.
fucking great. I didn't want to. As soon as I saw that, I heard that part, I was like, I don't want to ruin it for you guys. You got to watch to the end. 'Cause that was fucking great.
It was fantastic.
It's fucking hilarious.
Second
just
best
got
thing
a
Sean
beat.
Avery did this year.
Douchebag.
He did something good this year.
Well, yeah, he did that whole attempted comeback thing, which was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was an interesting 72 hours, wasn't it?
It was 48. It was less than that. 72. You're being nice. Holy crap. Wow, that was our
Yeesh.
super short episode of the Friends of Bibles podcast tonight. I hope you enjoyed it.
I can't imagine you're still listening. Is there really nothing to do in the United Arab Emirates that
No.
you sit through this shit?
Was Ren hot at least? Bill?
Oh, dude, she's could obviously young enough to be my daughter. But yeah, I'm thinking like if I was of a certain age and I met her under different circumstances, we would have gotten along and she totally would have friend zoned me and I would have gotten nowhere. She's way out of my league.
She totally
At my
would have been a
best.
girl I obsessed over and didn't do anything about.
Utterly, yeah, at my absolute best, yeah, I would have failed miserably.
Edmonton up 3-0, by the way. Don't forget to follow us on the Twitter at friends_rivals. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. I just checked. No one did. We will read them on the air if you want us to. Turn on notifications so you never miss an episode of the Friends and Rivals podcast. Billy, say something, will you?
There's no time. Tom, we're 3 hours and 7 minutes into the podcast. Let's just skip this part.
Really?
Hey,
Not
Jackie.
another fucking George Jetson zinger? Nothing? All right. Then I guess all we have to do left is for you to sing us out.
Oh, my friends and rivals. Fly as fuck, fly as fuck.